Canvassing and Phone Bank Grassroots Award. This is the first time in the studio since we started Canvassing and Phone Bank Grassroots Award. At this time, I have two beautiful guests, and I started Canvassing and Phone Bank Grassroots Award to make sure that the public be able to see the candidates that's running, what's going to be on the ballots, what to vote for, and how to vote, so we can get this done and get rid of a president that's in office that's dividing this world. Now, Evangelist Taylor is now a political healer to help heal the country politically and educate you all on what's going on in the world. So at this time, I have two beautiful guests, and my director is going to come. My partner, Elder Bell, is going to come with the prayer, and we're going to pray through this. Okay?
Sound good to me.
Sound good to me.
Start 2020 off with a good bang and a bowl. So God can put in people in office that we need to have in office correctly this time.
Yeah.
Amen.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come to your spirit and the truth. This day you've made, we rejoice and be glad. Right now, I ask that you just bless us all in our business, in our health, in our finances, in our families, and all that we do. Bless these gentlemen and all they do for the community. Bless this mighty woman of God and all that she do for the community. Right now, in the name of Jesus Christ, we declare victory in our lives, victory in all those watching. We thank you and praise you for the gifts and talents you've given us all. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Amen. So after Elder Bell have brought the word, I'm going to introduce you all to our candidates that may be running and one that is running. So Evangelist Taylor at this time would like to introduce to you all Mr. Al Williams.
Hello, everyone.
And Mr. Anthony Yanish.
Yanish. She
And
struggles with it.
I
We've been knowing each other
struggle
6
with-
years.
We've been together since 2016. I still struggling with that last name. So I'm going to just say Anthony.
Okay.
And right about now, we're going to, I want y'all to understand, for 2020, we need to realize that we can vote and get rid of somebody. Don't think you can sit at home and don't vote and your vote don't count. It does count, and it counts very much, because this world right now has been separated with a president in office. So we need you all to get out there, do your vote, and I'm going to start educating you by me being a political healer to heal the world, which I can't without God. I don't have that power if I didn't have God in me, to educate you on what's going on. So that's my goal for 2020, to bring Canvassing Phone Bank Grassroots Award to you and let you all know what's going on in the world, and a candidate like Mr. Al Williams and Mr. Anthony Yanish. Forgive me. And I can't say if he's a candidate or nothing, because he's doing a lot of things out here. So we're going to start with Mr. Al Williams, because he got an African American Award going on here in February.
Yeah, February 28th, Friday, February 28th. It will be the 7th annual African American Leadership Awards. And we are looking forward to highlighting and telling the story of African Americans who work to improve the quality of life for African Americans all across the state of Michigan. So we started it 7 years ago, really 8 years ago, in Southfield, Michigan, in partnership with Lear Corporation. The co-founder is none other than your Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence.
Yes, and I'm trying to get her on this show too, so we can get her some publicity too.
I can help you with that. And so we have worked to tell the story of many African Americans from around the state, from cities like Muskegon, Benton Harbor, Flint, Saginaw, Pontiac, of course Detroit, Highland Park, Oak Park, Niles, Michigan, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids. They all converge on the city of Detroit for the 7th annual, or for the African American Leadership Awards every year. This year is going to be really special because Detroit native Keith Ellison, who's serving as the vice chair of the Democratic National Committee and also Attorney General in the state of Minnesota. He's a former congressman from Minnesota, born and raised here in the city of Detroit, trained up here in the city of Detroit, and went out to be a true public servant to the people. And so he'll be here as our keynote speaker Friday, February 28th. He's also running for governor, in Minnesota
Oh, yeah, I'd like
currently.
to interview him
And
too.
so it'd be great it's going to be great to have him with us. Friday, February 28th at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. It's going to be a great night. If you want tickets or if you want to be a part of it, just go to miblackleader.com. That's myblackleader.com, miblackleader.com, to find out more information about the African American Leadership Awards. So it's important to continue to do that because it's about protecting our legacy and inspiring leaders of the future. One of the stories I like to talk about for the African American Leadership Awards, is actually two of them. Jewel Jones, who was just the youngest African American state representative in the country. He is no longer the youngest, but he was for about 4 years. He was also the youngest person ever to be elected in Inkster City Council. He came to the first annual African American Leadership Awards and was inspired to run for office.
That's it.
And that's the purpose. That's one of the purposes of why we do this, to inspire leaders of the future. And then the other story I like to talk about, and Jewel Jones will be there on the 28th as a presenter for one of the awards. But one of the other stories I like to talk about is our current Lieutenant Governor, the first African American Lieutenant Governor in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, which is Garland Gilchrist, and I have had a pleasure of being in a bunch of pictures with him and going on the urban youth tour that he did for the urban 18 city tour, of finding out what our people really need and how he can do Pontiac, Flint, I forgot the other 3 cities, I think Troy and all those, and Wayne, where
Inkster.
and Inkster.
Yeah.
He's doing an awesome job, as to say, and I would love to see more work from them, as he got a re-entry program that he's trying to get where he can bring home our people that's locked up in prison, and that's dealing with hard-working mom services. Right now, I can't talk too much about that because that's a whole nother entity. We are talking about the election. So
Yeah, but Garland came to the before he became Lieutenant Governor, he was recognized he won an award for the African American Leadership Awards. He actually went through our training through the African American Leadership Institute. We do leadership trainings, and we then participated and helped him run his campaign for city clerk. And then he won the award, Emerging Leadership Award.
Oh, that's awesome.
Emerging Leader Award of the Year in 2017 or 2018, and then he was elected as Lieutenant Governor at the end of 2018. So
he was picked by our good friend Gretchen
Whitmer. He was appointed, right? And so we like to tell those stories because they inspire others to do great things. Outside of that, I'm running for state representative.
Okay, let me get to that.
Okay.
Let me holler at Mr. Anthony Yanish. That name get stuck in my core. And I found out you two are friends too.
Yeah, we know each other. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Political world, right?
Outside the political world too.
Yeah.
Outside. That's awesome. I got 2 beautiful African American men that love taking care of their people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something I enjoy being with, because we have less men that taking care of their families. And I love to bring men that encourage the world, not just their families, but encourage the world to do great things.
Right.
With you got a nice program where, recently you have just gave up your home and moved some people in your home to live. and don't care about nothing going on. What they need, people in need. That's your goal.
Yeah.
And you also have another. What it's called?
The Eden Project.
Yeah, the Eating Project. Did you know he got an Eating Project?
Yeah. So I got 2 of them. One's called United Colors Against Negativity, and the other one's the Eden Project, which is the offspring from that. Now, Eden Project means every district, every nation. Okay. And I've been working with a young man named Ash and Maggie over at Lawrence Tech, and we've been collectively working on how we can actually feed people who are hungry out in the streets, always hungry. The goal is try to get rid of that hunger some kind of way. So I thought about the fact that how the world used to be before man showed up on it, when God created before man, right?
Yeah.
And then it was set in place for man and woman to have food, plentiful, right? So the goal was to go back to that thought process. And we wanted to make it in a modernized world because that's the only way this is going to work. And what we came up with is great. I'm waiting for the drawings, supposed to be meeting next week. Well, actually, this week coming. We're going to meet and we're going to look over the architect of this thing that they constructed. And then we're going to go from there building it. And all it takes is people out there to donate. And all we want is your plastic. We don't want any money. Not looking for any money from anybody out there. We'll work on that on the backside some other kind of way. But we just need the plastic. And it's going to be certain plastic. We're going to be announcing that soon, what it is that we need you to donate. It's just pure plastic. And we're going to create these phenomenal housing for food.
So at this time, I want to talk about, 2016, when we, as the Democrat, lost
Oh, God.
to Trump for the House. So by this being 2020, we need people to really get out there and vote.
Mm-hmm.
And we also need a new president that's not dividing this world. So to say, I know you are running for Wayne County.
State representative in the 3rd district, which is in Wayne County.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the 3rd district, I'm running for state house in the 3rd district. The 3rd district goes from, it's all in Detroit, Detroit and Wayne County, and it goes from 8 Mile and Livernois to 8 Mile and Gratiot, Gratiot over to 6 Mile or McNichols, and then down McNichols all the way to back down to Livernois. It's one big rectangle, and so it's includes neighborhoods like Sherwood Forest, University District, Green Acres, Palmer Woods, Cranswood, Coney Gardens, and going east from there all the way to Gratiot. And so it's very important that we not only get out and vote in the presidential primary, which is coming up March 10th, but we have 3 times to get it right this year. Presidential primary is important to get a Democratic, to show the rest of the country that Democrats in Michigan are standing up and stepping up on turnout. No matter who you're voting for, it's important to get out and vote March 10th for the presidential primary. And then we have the August primary for all the state house members, state senators who are up for re-election, county commission, some judges as well, which is extremely important going into the general election in November. We can take Michigan back. We lost in 2016 by 13,000 votes. Donald Trump won literally by 13,000 votes, if you ask. And that's the equivalent, if you know anything about precincts, their neighborhood elected positions, precinct delegates, that's the equivalent of 2 people per precinct in the state of Michigan. And so it's important to get the grassroots community out there now, going into March, and even more importantly, going into August and November, to make sure that we don't turn red again in 2020.
Yes, so that's the reason.
Or should I say orange?
Right.
That's the reason I started canvassing the Phone Bank Grassroots Award, because I want my people, which is grassroots, which is the constituents, the people to vote, to get to know who to vote for, and that it is possible that they still they vote do count. I don't want nobody to be uneducated on what we can do and get the things that we needed done. So to say,
But can I just interject on that?
Yeah.
I agree and I support both of you on this. But the flaw here is that you have your millennials not well educated because we make it seem like it's so much they have to take in on information. That's something I've been doing lately too, is gathering groups of millennials. And I teach them in 30 minutes how you can vote just in your district. Just focus on your district, your city. Those are the people from whoever represents you from the Senate on down within that spot. Focus completely on that. So I teach them how to do this in 30 minutes so they can understand who they're voting for, how to research these people, stay within the guidelines of information. You got 52, I checked out, you got 56 weeks in a year? So you only spend one day. I tell them spend 1 day, 1 hour a week on a different candidate. Learn it, grow it. See, those are the things that hindered us. Last time when we lost, millennials didn't want to come out after the Bernie Sanders issue. And a lot of them didn't even understand electoral college. So, well, my vote doesn't count because of these numbers, as he spoke on. These are the things we have to give people knowledge to understand. You change electoral colleges by changing what's going on in your environment where you live in, by your leadership. That's how you change all these things.
So that's the reason we have precinct delegates to go
And
around and try to educate the people on what's going on.
Exactly.
So to say, Mr. Al Williams, explain to me, why do you think you capable of running, and what's the goal in the future for you being that candidate? What make you that candidate that can take on that state representative house seat?
I think it's because of my experience. You know, I've been in the game for 20 years. I've worked in the state legislature. I don't need a learning curve. I've worked for the Appropriations Committee. I know how it works. I know how to bring home the bacon, to say the least. I also understand the importance of leadership in Lansing. And we have for a long time elected legislators who not only needed a learning curve but didn't provide real leadership in their community. And so I think it's time for us to elect people, you know, and it's sad to say that we have so many people in the city of Detroit who've put in so much work without looking for the recognition, who've put in so much work to get out the vote, put in so much work on policy to change and improve the quality of life for so many of us. But then when it's time for them to step up to leadership, we end up electing somebody who is brand new or has never put that work in before, or who just moved to this community and got a little bit of money, and they can establish some quick name recognition. And that's why we end up in the position that we're in, where we're 49th in the country when it comes to service and veterans, where we're one of the worst states in the country when it comes to equitable funding for our education, or where you get the things like the Flint water crisis, because of emergency management, really because we elected a governor that had no governing experience whatsoever.
All corporate.
Absolutely, a corporate governor. And so I bring to the table experience in policy. I've been a policy wonk. I bring to the table experience in elections and governing. I bring to the table experience in working with veterans and being able to provide them the services that they need to get their benefits, so they won't be homeless, and so they can continue to, when they come home, continue to provide great services and be a contributor to our economy. And so I think that, you know, at the end of the day, we need fighters in Lansing who know how to lead. And we haven't had that in a long time. I mean, we have a few up there, but we've been electing people who have no experience, who don't know how to fight, and once they're elected, they disappear. Even when I haven't been elected, I never disappeared. That's why I've been around for 20 years. The fight is in me. I'm all for improving the quality of life for African Americans, the city of Detroit, and Michigan as a whole, and we'll continue to do that. And I think at the end of the day, we need leaders who are ready to do the heavy lifting to get Michigan out of the place that it's in. We talk about fixing the damn roads and fixing our education system, but those are two heavy lifts. Our education system right now is unequitable. In order to make it equitable, we need to change our state constitution to provide a high quality education for our children, and at the same time change the way our education is funded. Right now it's funded primarily through property taxes because of the Headley Amendment and Proposal 1 from years ago. We're bounded to provide our education mostly through property taxes, and we need to change that.
And but that's the thing that disturbs me about this whole thing. Don't we have this thing called the lottery, Mega Million?
Yeah.
And since the 70s, it's generated close to 40 or 30 billion dollars.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to fund the education. But when you chop up the pie literally shows the upper management grabs the bulk of it.
Absolutely,
and that makes no sense. The small slice of that pie goes to the school, and it's like it's not even. Is it 10%?
It's less than that, and for the city of Detroit alone, it's like $216 million per year that comes from the lottery. The formula is all screwed up. The dollars don't go to the desk of our children. Instead, they go to brick and mortar and paying off retirees' health care and other things. And so we need to make sure that we look at the way we fund our schools, and we need to prioritize dollars going to the desk first. We spend more money on education, but it's not really getting to the children.
Exactly.
It's going to fund everything else which is really what the adults are in the education field for, but it's not helping what we need or what we're into educating in the first place. And then the last thing on that is, you know, I truly believe right now the state of Michigan in our Constitution, all we have to do, all it says is we have to provide education. It doesn't say what type of education. We need to be in the business of providing the highest quality education, period, for our children. And if we change that language within the state constitution, that's going to do wonders and prioritize really where we spend our dollars.
Yeah.
That's correct, yes.
So here in March on the ballot, we have some bonds that's going to be on the ballot here in Pontiac about our school and how to do something. So I'm going to start bringing you all things from Oakland County, Wayne County, Macomb County, to know what's on that ballot, to educate you on what to vote for and how to vote and what's going to be on that ballot, as well as the presidents that's going to be on that ballot and who's going to make it. And I would love for these guys to come back after that, after you go through the election, and with God help, we pray you win.
Absolutely.
Right. Amen.
And
With your help and with God's help,
Yeah.
we're going to win. With your prayers, we're going to win.
There's nothing wrong with a little extra help here and
There
there.
you go.
well, you know, it's nothing that Evangelist Taylor do. It's the things that we got to get people to work his campaign. He need volunteers.
Right.
He need phone bankers.
Right.
He need the grassroots people, and he also needs you all that got that money that can get behind him in his campaign. You want to tell them where they can come and send donations to you and where you need volunteers at?
Absolutely. I'm all over Facebook, Al BJ Williams on Facebook, or Al Williams for State Rep. You can also go to alwilliamsformichigan.com to donate, or you can mail a check to 18324 Fairfield, Detroit, Michigan 48221. All those options are available to you, but you can very quickly find me on Facebook or Instagram, same handle, Al Williams for Michigan. And I think the important thing is that you need to understand that we all have to get in the game when it comes to politics and economics, and they go hand in hand. I think if we understand that if you invest in our future now, then you'll get it on the back end. So when you donate to a candidate, whether it's $1, $2, $10, $100, all of that is beneficial. $1 pays for 2 stamps right now. 2 stamps can help me persuade 2 more voters. And so anything helps when it comes to understanding who you want to support and supporting them to the best of your ability, whether it's $1, $10, or $100. Right. That's all important.
Yes, it is.
Or you can continue to wait and have
not just the money you need. You also need the volunteer, the phone bank. Like Evangelist Taylor, sometime I have to sit there with coming for the election for the president. I have to sit from 7 days a week from 9 to 9. This man can testify to that. Yeah. Do that phone banking to try to get them
best workers.
Get them people in office. If they don't have a body that's there working consistently to get them in, it ain't gonna work.
No, it's not.
If you come and give 2 minutes of your time, it would be awesome. Mm-hmm. Just 2 minutes of your time is like $1 million. Mm-hmm. Just picking up a phone and phone banking for candidates to get in, it will be awesome. Door knocking, taking that lit is awesome. To get in and talking and call. If you got 5 friends and if you text them and tell them about these candidates, that's like, and you pass it on and they pass it on, that's like hitting $1 million lottery.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. And Mr. Yanish gonna come back because he may be running in April. He may be running.
I'm pretty sure it's leaning that way hard.
But we don't know what district yet.
Yeah, I'm checking some things out right quick, because you know how it is. You ruffle feathers making moves and people heads pop up and it's like slow down. Yeah. Because I've been getting calls since people found out that I've been considering this, like, well, who you running and this, mm-hmm. And I let them know, look, I'm not here to take nobody's job. I'm here to make a difference in something that I'm looking at that's important.
Mm-hmm. So, Evangelist Taylor started canvassing the Phone Bank Grassroots Award. And at the end of the show, you'll be able to go and see. And I'm putting together the first Camilton and Phone Bank Grassroots Award to give back to the people, the little people that do the door knocking, the phone banking. So we got stuff for the bags to carry the lid in this year.
Oh, wow.
And with the Icon Award, Miss Maddie Hatchett.
Maddie Hatchett.
That been grooming me, and Mr. Bill Maxey. And so to say, in June, we're going to try to get it off there at there in Pontiac. But I want to bring candidates to you so you can be able to vote correctly for like this young man here that's running for what seat?
State Representative, District 3.
District 3. And this may be a candidate, I may bring him back to you and let you know if he decides to throw his hat in the ring. So remember, tell them where they can catch you at.
Okay, you can catch me on Facebook, Anthony Yanish. But I have a couple of sites on there. One is called You're Beautiful, and it's all about bringing the beauty of yourself out when people have, discarded you, bullied you, whatever. It's self-empowerment. You can go to my page. It's www.ucan-be.com, and I have different stuff on there you can buy. And what I do is I take that money I make, and I take 20% of it, no matter what it is. I just take 20%. I buy a bunch of stuff, and I just randomly give it away to people, no matter who it is.
Yeah, like he gave away his house here.
Oh, yeah. Man, they thought I was crazy. I'm like, no, it's a family with a 2-month-old. So I brought them in my house, and I moved out.
Wow,
I stayed
amazing.
in a friend's house, for a minute.
So these the kind of candidates that you want running for office. These the kind of candidates that you want to help get in office. These the kind of people that you want to be. That's people like you. We want candidates that look and talk like you in office. State House, Oakland County Commissioner, and let me tell you, we have Oakland County Commissioner Angela Powell, State Representative Brenda Carter coming. We gonna try to get our 14th district lady, Miss Brenda Lawrence, to come out here.
Yes,
and we
my
got
old boss.
Yeah, we got some candidates that's coming, and I want you to understand. Oakland County Commissioner Brenda Carter, State Representative Brenda Carter, they are doing awesome jobs. Angela Powell, and our Governor Gretchen Whitmer is doing an awesome job. So to say, I'm going to try to bring them in to you all, and you remember, this is very serious for 2020.
Absolutely.
Can I just say one quick thing? If
Yeah.
you don't mind? Look, complaining ain't voting. Everybody's complaining, yo, man, blah, blah, this, that. And if you don't know how the system works in voting, learn it. Learn it, because that's the first thing I hear most. Is people say, my vote doesn't count, my voice doesn't count. It's because you don't understand it fully, because you haven't been educated how your power really works. Everybody's focused on the power of the president. Your votes change everything from your local all the way up.
Yeah.
That's how you change everything. Your voice matters. And if you sit on the sidelines complaining, it's not voting, and it's definitely not changing.
So to say, before we leave, anything you want to tell them, Al?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with him. Get in the game. That's what I say to people. It's about voting, yes, but it's about getting engaged in the game in its entirety, in the political game. Because once you vote, that doesn't mean it's over. We elected Obama, and then we didn't continue to participate. So get in the game, stay in the game. And then last but not least, Al Williams for State Representative. I'm running in District 3, which is 8 Mile to Livernois to Gratiot, and 8 Mile, Gratiot over 6 Mile, 6 Mile back down to Livernois, one big square, one big rectangle. I'm hoping that I can earn your support, and I'm hoping I can go to Lansing, not just to legislate, but to lead.
Now, you can also, any candidates out there, call Evangelist Taylor at 248-309-0579. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
You're quite welcome.